Hello, it's Ed. Welcome to the studio. Thanks for joining me, and thanks to all of those of you who have dropped me a message to tell me that you're not a robot in the comments, because that really cheered me up and gave me the impetus to carry on with making these videos, because I was getting really worried that actually I was just talking to a vacuum, and it's so nice to hear that there are some of you at least out there enjoying it. So thank you so much for that. Now, what I want to do this time is I want to try and recreate these sort of special effects films that you can spend lots of money on. You can buy films that have been pre-exposed with paw prints or weird logos or light leaks and things like that to try and make your film photography a bit different. Now, I've never been really interested in doing that. I've always thought, well, in digital you can just superimpose another background, make a double exposure that way. But I just thought, actually, as an experiment, I'm going to pre-expose this roll of Kentmere 100, and then I'm going to put it back into another camera and then shoot it as I would shoot normally. Now, I wanted to just put the film into this camera, find some textures, do those, rewind it, put it back in again. But I realised that it's highly unlikely that I'll be able to line the frames up exactly as they should be. There would be bits with bars going across, and that might spoil the effect. It's more trouble, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to load it into the 6x7 Mamiya and shoot the textures on that, because that will create these long panoramas. So although there will be some frame lines, there'll be fewer of them, and I should get more frames where there isn't any overlap. So it should be a better result, but we shall see. Right, let's crack on. So the first thing I need to do is load the Kentmere into the Mamiya RB67 back, and then I'm going to actually film my mobile phone screen, because what I want to do is just pick a texture or a background image that I think will work well. So I've chosen some firework trails, and I've chosen some, I guess you call it street arts, and I'll put it in a darkened room and literally just shoot that frame after frame, and that should give the same result as you would get if you bought a special effect film. Okay, so I've exposed this roll for the first time, and the first half should be firework trails, the second half should be street art saying love. Now I need to load it into the Yashica and go out and shoot it with some sympathetic subjects. Right, let's get it loaded up. Let's go out and shoot. Okay, for the first shot, I'm going to get a picture, self-portrait with this Think Bike sign, because I want everyone to think bike. Don't want to get knocked off my bike. Right, so I've set the self-timer. I'm on f5.6, so hopefully decent shutter speed. Let's go. There we go. Will that work with star trails? I don't know. Now I'm thinking I need predominantly dark backgrounds for these shots so that the sparkles of the fireworks show up. It would be good to shoot at night really against a dark sky, but I need to get this done now while I have time, so we're just going to look for dark backgrounds with light subjects. So I'm here by the motorway and hoping to get a good shot here. Got some nice graffiti, got some nice background, and I think that might go with what I've got. But don't want to spend too long around here, so we'll crack on. It's a really interesting shot here because there's a tree that's come down and broken in the river, so I'll get that. So this is a scene I've shot many times before. See how it goes with this special effect. Okay, so those last couple of pictures, I didn't shoot video while I was doing them, it was just at the end of the roll. But I think actually they were probably a couple of the best ones, to be honest, because I think that love street graffiti or street chalking or whatever it was actually worked better than the firework trails, because the firework trails kind of looked like mould. It was smoke and fire, but the smoke just turned into what looked like fungus on top of the film. So that didn't really work, and that's a shame. But it was proof of concept. It did work. That double exposure technique did work. And I think I could improve on it by using colour film, and also I think I could shoot both the first exposure and the second exposure in just a normal 35mm camera, because if I'm going to choose a logo or something, I just go light on a dark background, and then that dark background blends into each of the frames. You won't see the frame lines because you'll only see where the bright bits are, and I can control that because I'm using the mobile phone to get the frame in, so it's very controllable. And yeah, I just flick through each frame, bang, 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 bang. I will pick a theme, so if I'm going to do a football theme, I will have lots of footballs or something to do with football in my background. If I was going to do something on cats, you know, I'd have whiskers or paw prints or something. Or if I was going to do something on urban dereliction, maybe I would get some metallic or rust backgrounds which I would superimpose everything on. I don't think double exposure is my sort of thing. If I want to get layers and framing and things like that, I prefer to do it in a single exposure. And if I really wanted to do a collage, I would use layers in Photoshop probably. But it's a useful thing to know, and I'm glad I tried it. It's all about the process, it's all about learning new skills and experimenting. And so I hope you enjoyed it. Probably not the greatest pictures I've done, I hope not, because I really wasn't pleased with any of them, but it worked as a technical exercise. So that is it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me again. Thanks again to those of you who dropped me a comment on my last video. It really meant the world to me. Please do try and tune in again next week. Like, share, subscribe, all that business. Have a fantastic week. Look after yourselves. Bye for now.